The Sewing Advisor is an exclusive feature with the Husqvarna Viking sewing machines. Down in the lower part of your screen, you'll see that we have pictures of fabric. A, B, and C represent woven fabrics, and as soon as you touch them, it'll take you to the sewing information screen. Right now, we're just on a straight stitch, so if we were going to tell it we're doing a woven light on fabric A, it's going to recommend a smaller needle for that lighter weight fabric and also shortening the stitch length for us to a length of 2 millimeters long. Watch the stitch length. As we change it to a medium woven fabric, the stitch length gets longer. And for a heavy woven fabric, it gets all the way as long as 3.0. Well, we have fabrics here, and then we also have techniques. So the second row, we'll get into what these different techniques are. B fabric is, as we get into D, E, and F, those are stretch fabrics. You're going to be recommended to use a stretch needle and a different stitch altogether. So for example, if we pick technique number 1, which is a seam, you're going to notice that you are selecting a stretch stitch automatically and sets it for the right needle position. Notice it moved it to the left side of our screen to sew a perfect 5/8 when we follow the 10 millimeter stitch line on our throat plate. And also, one thing you haven't noticed, it'll just do it automatically, is that the pressure of the foot will be reduced. So you don't get those wavy outcomes when you sew with just a normal presser foot. So it's going to adjust everything. If you find yourself using it, it's really going to help you for the final results. So we have, like, let's say we were working on a fleece type fabric. We can do F for stretch heavy fabrics. It's going to give us a bigger needle, and a seam. If we were doing that, stitch is set up for that type of fabric, and the pressure has also been reduced. For that same fabric, if we need to do technique number 2, an overcast, that stitch will come up, the right foot will come up, but watch, that will vary if we go back to, say, a woven medium fabric. It'll pick a different stitch and have us use a different foot. Foot J is an overlock foot. That's in your collection that you got with it, with your machine. Technique number 3 is a seam and overcast. I use this quite a bit. I like the way this stitches out using overlock foot, letter J. Technique number 4 is a basting stitch. Again, you can do this for all different types of fabric. Technique number 5 is it's a blind hem. And we'll notice that if we set up for a woven medium fabric and a blind hem, picks the right stitch, picks the foot. And that's nice because if you don't remember what stitch to pick, you can tell it what technique you want to do, and it'll go find the stitch for you and remind you what foot to put on. Number 6 is actually a hem for different fabrics that will change for different stitches, different widths, and so forth as we pick different ones. And the last one is buttonholes. Now, buttonholes for different fabrics will also be guided. So watch as we change our fabric type, our buttonholes change on screen, showing us which foot and which buttonhole would be best suited. I love this feature, especially for a new sewer. This is awesome. The last fabric, fabric G, is leather or vinyl, and it will recommend your non-stick foot letter H to use for our particular settings. And notice, since we're still on buttonhole, it picked a straight stitch buttonhole to do with that particular foot. And again, whatever technique we've picked, it will pick the right stitch, the right settings, and the right foot. So use your sewing advisor. Do note that if we are left on leather and we turn the machine off, it will come back to the leather setting on the next time you go to sew. So nice to check that and make sure. A lot of times I like to leave it on woven medium for when I come back the next time and my next project.